Imagine landing a plane on nothing but solid ice, in one of the most remote places on Earth. No cities, no insects, no animals, just endless white ice stretching for thousands of miles. That place is Antarctica. At first, it doesn't seem that scary. In fact, for many explorers and adventurers, Antarctica feels like the ultimate dream destination. But once you understand what's hiding beneath that frozen surface, the story becomes much more terrifying. Most people imagine huge ice fields filled with penguins everywhere. But the reality is very different. The interior of Antarctica is almost completely empty. If you want to see emperor penguins or most wildlife, you have to go near the coasts. Deep inside the continent, there is almost nothing, just massive ice plains and mountains buried under snow. One of the most famous mountains there is Mount Vinson, the tallest mountain in Antarctica. It rises nearly 5,000 meters above sea level and is part of the legendary Seven Summits, the highest mountains on each continent. But reaching Antarctica is an adventure by itself. There are no normal airports there. Instead, some planes land on something called a blue ice runway. Yes. A runway made entirely of ice. Imagine a large aircraft touching down on frozen blue ice in the middle of Antarctica. It sounds impossible, but that is exactly how many expeditions arrive. These runways are carefully prepared by flattening and grooming the ice so planes can land safely, but even after landing safely, Antarctica still hides dangers that most people never imagine, and the biggest danger isn't the freezing cold, it's something hidden under the ice. Once explorers arrive in Antarctica, life can feel strangely organized. Many expedition camps are carefully built to survive the harsh environment. Explorers often stay in heated tents designed to handle the extreme cold. There are shared dining areas where people eat together after long days on the ice. Some camps even host evening talks where scientists and adventurers share their experiences. Photographers, mountaineers, researchers, and explorers from around the world gather in these remote places. But even in these organized camps, Antarctica remains incredibly dangerous. One of the biggest threats comes from something called crevasses. Crevasses are enormous cracks that form deep inside glaciers and ice sheets. Some of them are hundreds of feet deep and wide enough to swallow a vehicle. What makes them terrifying is that many of them are completely hidden. A thin layer of snow can cover the opening, making the ground look perfectly safe. From the surface, everything appears solid, but underneath that snow might be a deep empty crack waiting silently. If someone steps on that weak snow bridge, it can collapse instantly. Within seconds, the person could fall deep into the icy darkness below. Climbing out of a crevasse is extremely difficult because the walls are smooth ice. Temperatures far below freezing can quickly cause hypothermia. In some cases, rescue teams cannot even reach the person in time. That is why explorers crossing glaciers often travel roped together for safety. But even with ropes and safety gear, crevasses remain one of the most feared dangers in Antarctica, and unfortunately, history shows that some explorers never made it back. Many explorers believe that throughout Antarctica's long history, a number of people have fallen into these hidden crevasses and were never recovered. Some experts even suggest that their bodies may still be trapped deep beneath the ice today, and because glaciers slowly move over time, the ice keeps shifting and covering everything underneath it, which means some of those lost explorers may remain frozen there forever. But crevasses are not the only strange thing about Antarctica. The continent also has one of the most unusual daylight cycles on Earth. During the summer months, the sun never truly sets. For weeks and sometimes even months, daylight continues for 24 hours a day. At first this might sound beautiful, but it creates a surprising challenge. Because sunlight reflects off the snow and ice, the brightness becomes extremely intense. Even in freezing temperatures, people can suffer severe sunburn if they are not protected. That is why explorers wear sunglasses, face coverings, and special protective clothing while traveling across the ice. Then winter arrives, and everything changes completely. Instead of endless daylight, Antarctica enters months of total darkness. The sun disappears below the horizon, powerful storms sweep across the continent, and temperatures drop to some of the coldest on Earth. Only a few research stations remain active during this time. Despite these brutal conditions, scientists continue studying Antarctica because it holds one of the biggest secrets of our planet. Nearly 70% of the world's fresh water is locked inside its massive ice sheets, and if those ice sheets melt in the future, global sea levels could rise dramatically. so Antarctica is not just a frozen desert, it is one of the most mysterious and important places on Earth. But for the explorers walking across that endless white landscape, one danger still remains, because somewhere beneath their feet, a hidden crevasse might still be waiting.